Hey everybody, DeLongshot Signatures here. I have some in-person autographs to share from the Sonsio Grand Prix practice and qualifications that happened yesterday at IMS. Got out with a total of 33 autographs. Not as productive as previous years, but it was still pretty decent. I left around 1:30ish because I have to get to work at 3, and when I left an autograph session, the Indy cars were on the track until about 2 o'clock. So I was like, all right, I'll just grab a couple hero cards of anyone that I haven't grabbed yet, and then I'll head out because there wasn't really any good autograph opportunities at that time. Did kind of miss out on one of the autograph sessions, which really sucks. That was the main purpose of going. But I did make it to the other one, and I did get a few autographs in the garages before all that. So we'll start with my custom 4x6 photos. I just did a generic one again this year. I didn't make one for each driver. But we got the pole winner, Alex Palou, 3-time IndyCar Series champion. Got Scott McLaughlin, who generally will stop and sign quite a bit out of the Penske garages. And the first person that I got while waiting for Scott Dixon, who I was not able to get yesterday, was Felix Rosenqvist. There was a couple other drivers that had popped out in the garages, and by the time I got to them, they had to leave for driver meeting or go to the track or whatever. But I did buy a bunch of hero cards off of eBay for this year and was able to get a few of those signed already. First one we have is of Connor Daly, who is one of the best signers in person. Even when he has to run back to the track, he'll sign real quick and then get out of there. Then we got one of his teammate Stingray Robb. He really liked seeing that hero card. I was able at 2 different places to get 2 signed hero cards of 2-time Indy 500 winner Joseph Newgarden. I'll explain that one in a little bit, but this one I got in the garages right before they had to go out to the track for the first time for practice. He was willing to sign if you were able to walk with him, and so that's what we did, and he took his time. He was signing for a lot of people while moving towards the track. So that's what I got in the garages. Again, just not a whole lot of time. I got there around 8, maybe 8:30ish, somewhere between there, and just wasn't a ton of activity in there, but still was able to get a few drivers, and then waited around a little bit for someone in the NXT series, wasn't able to meet them, and then I got in line for the full field autograph session. And it was a lot less organized than it was in years prior. So got in line, and I saw my buddies Todd and Tyler as I was there. Hung out with Tyler. We talked for quite a while. They started the autograph session, and something that they've done in previous years, which is fine that they do it, was military and then some sort of fast pass thing. I guess you have to win that. I don't know much about it. They went through first, which is fine, but there was already a line in place, and so that wasn't part of the line. And they only give the drivers 30 minutes to sign, and then they have a hard out 30 minutes afterwards. And people really love to take their time going through the lines. And the way that they do it, I don't know how it is for other tracks, but they split it into 2 different lines so that they can try to accommodate as many people as possible and everything like that. And despite being there for over 2 hours, we weren't able to get in when all the drivers were there. But we were pretty close to the front, so they did let us walk through and grab some extra hero cards and autographs that were left on the table. But because we weren't one of the first ones when they left, a lot of people snatched up a whole bunch of the names. So the autographs I was able to get while there was this Joseph Newgarden one, because he stayed after and signed for a bunch of people. I think he could tell that he was in a good mood overall, but like I think he could tell that people were really ticked off because there was a long line behind us, and we didn't even get to meet the drivers that were scheduled there. But I got one of Renus VK, one of Devlin DiFrancesco, and then one of Graham Rahal. So these were extra signed ones that they left on their table that were still available. I got a couple extra hero cards. I think I got like a New Garden and Marcus Armstrong that were unsigned, so I can at least take those to the track next week and try and get those signed. But it just seems a little disorganized. Again, I'm cool if you have like a fast pass or military ID and you get in first, but like have them start 15-20 minutes earlier. I know that there's not like a ton of time open for them, but the drivers weren't even on the track for like another hour, so I don't know what they were doing. But I did get to attend the Indy Next or Indy NXT. I'm not sure what it's supposed to be. I think it's Indy Next autograph signing. So I did get all of the Indy Next drivers. So Chip Ganassi Racing, as you guys probably know, doesn't do hero cards anymore. They do trading cards, which is fine, but it'd be great if they used regular markers and not paint pens. So got Bryce Aaron, who doesn't even have that much of a signature anyway, and most of what's going on got stuck onto the back of another hero card. So that kind of stinks, but it is signed. We got Kaio Collett, one from Callum Hedge, Dennis Hauger, who I believe I got TTM a year or two ago through his Formula 2 team. I'm going to mess this name up. Evagoras Papasavas, I think. He's got to be, Swedish or something? I don't know. I don't see a flag on there for where he's from. And then a lot of people were here for her, and I brought an extra hero card, and she was more than happy to sign, but good Lord, people just love to talk these drivers' heads off during a, keep it moving autograph session. But she was super nice. She signed 2. Haley Deegan. Gotten several autographs from her, but this is the first time that I've ever gotten to meet her. Did try waiting around by her garage, and never saw her out there. So I probably could have gotten a much better spot in line if I didn't do that, but, who knows? Hindsight's always 20/20. Then we got Jack William Miller, James Rowe, Jordan Missig, Josh Pearson, and then Juan Manuel Correa signed 2, or gave me 2. The Firestone Bird jumped in front of me in line and was getting autographs from each driver, just kind of messing around. It was funny. I think he ended up giving those to a kid. I don't know for sure, but some people were just holding up the line, and Correa was just like, I don't remember if I gave you one, but here's one. So I ended up getting 2 from him. Liam Skates, something like that. The first race winner, Loki Hughes, or Loki Hughes, I'm not sure how it's supposed to be pronounced. Miles Rowe with his big hero card. Another Chip Ganassi driver, Niels Coolin. At least his mostly stuck on the card. Saw this guy walking around. He's pretty tall. Nikita. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be Janssen or not. Janssen or Johnson. Nolan Alaire. Ricardo Escato. Salvador de Alba. Seb Murray. And finally, Tommy Smith. So I at least got to go to the Indy NXT session. I think there's only one driver on the IndyCar grid that I don't have, and it's Robert Schwartzman. So hopefully I'll get to meet him. Walked by all the garages, kind of got an idea of where each team is located currently, and hopefully we'll see how Tuesday goes. Tuesday right now is projected rain all day, which, like, if it's a light rain, that's fine, but if it's a heavy rain, like it's supposed to be later in the day, that'll suck, because if it's complete rain, then it's not really good to try and get autographs, but if it's a light rain, most of the drivers will kind of hang out and sign for fans, because I told my bosses at work that I'll be late Tuesday, but I might ask them if I can switch that to Wednesday or Thursday, just depending on how the weather goes. But the meteorologists have been wrong a lot recently, so there's no telling, what the weather will actually be like Tuesday. And because I'm working second shift, I'm not able to stay at the track for as long as I'd like. Friday of next week, and, well, actually, no, not Friday. Saturday and Sunday of next week, I should be able to stay for a good portion of the day. But I'll try to go Wednesday and or Thursday as well to get a couple extra hours of trying to meet drivers, because it should be good weather those days. But that is it for this one. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. It helps me out a lot. Best luck with your guys' collecting. Take care.